Hey peeps, welcome back. We are talking Love After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 36. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Alright, so this episode started out with Shante and True, and oh God. Oh my gosh. So we find out that the spoiler alerts that I gave a couple weeks back were actually true. But the episode starts out with Shante still being on the same street as the Airbnb. She is in her car having a complete meltdown, crying, screaming, hitting herself in the head, saying that she should have trusted what everybody told her. And I don't feel any ways about it. I have no sympathy for her at all. At the age of 35, being a mother of 4 and having grandchildren, you should absolutely know better. You know what I mean? You should have known to not give your heart and $30,000 of your hard-earned money to a man in prison that you never even went to visit. All the signs point to this being a bunch of bullshit. But you still went for it. She's in the car screaming and hollering about how she lost her job, how her career is all jacked up because she was a manager or a general manager for Whataburger, and now you have to go work somewhere else. This dude is walking around the neighborhood talking to his sister on the phone, and he walks up on her, gets in the car to have a conversation with her, and I said, what the hell? There is no way this dude would have ever caught up to me. I would be 60 miles down the road by now, even if I was crying, okay? I would have been 60 miles up the road before I had pulled over to cry. You know it's dangerous to cry and drive. Anyway, this dude gets in the car and he says to her, can we be friends? What? Say what now? Can we be friends? Anyway, she says no, she doesn't want to be his friend. And she jumps out the car. I said, Lord have mercy, you're wearing your pajamas. I mean, this was just too damn much. He tells her that he's not talking to any other females, which of course is a lie because he had already called his sister to come get him. He wanted to holler at old girl from the gym. He's full of shit. Okay, by the time they catch up with Shante, because she ends up just getting in the car and pulling off finally. By the time they catch up with her, this girl tells us that she is 14 weeks pregnant. Since True has left her 14 weeks earlier, she has found a job, moved into a cheaper place. Of course, you remember from the spoiler alert, she actually got evicted, allegedly, from that last place. So according to her, she found a new job in a cheaper place, which I'm glad she found a place and a job. And she got hurt on her job, ended up having to go to the emergency room, and they ran tests and found out that she was pregnant. She tells us that she's pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl, and she is trying to act as if she is so concerned. She can't believe it. Oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. I'm going to be a single mom again. But she looked, in my opinion, to be extremely happy about this pregnancy. She made a comment that with or without True, she wanted this. And I'm thinking to myself, but why? Why? You already have 4 children. You have 2 grandkids. You are just now getting on your feet because you just got a new job. You got a new place. Why would you have wanted to have twins with someone like True? Not only that, she was at a baby supply store with her daughter and best friend. Her daughter is pregnant. I think that was her daughter, or was it her niece? And you sort of stole her baby shopping thunder, announcing your pregnancy. And when they walked out the store, she had all these bags, but the niece or daughter had 0 bags. I think she absolutely stole the thunder from her daughter. Like I said, I just can't feel sorry for her. You spent over $30,000 on a guy from jail you never met. You lost your job. Now you're pregnant with twins and he still ain't shit. You're not together. And I think that it was really stupid for you to be 35 years old having sex unprotected. Both of them should have been thinking, shouldn't we be protected? Condoms, an IUD, the morning after pill, anything. Both of you should have done better than that. They needed protection. So when she calls him, he lets her know that he's no longer staying at his mom's house because his mom put him out. I guess bad girl energy from the gym last week. That weird woman called his mom allegedly and told his mom, some stuff that he had been doing. He said it was a lie, but I'm sure it's the truth. And his mother threw him out. So now he says he's living with a female friend who's just a friend. It's a whole bunch of bullshit going down, and he's full of shit. He tells her that they'll talk about the pregnancy when, he gets there. Because when she told him, he said, am I being punked? Are you serious? Is this for real? He thinks this is a whole bunch of bullshit. She's saying, no, you don't need to come down here. You don't need to come down here. But she wants him to come there. She wants to be with him. These are decisions that this grown woman is making. And so therefore, that goes back to why I do not feel sorry for her. You clearly love living like this. Not me, girl. Anyway, moving on. Zara and Troy. Honey, now listen. They pick up right where they left off. Karen is still in church acting the hell up. Now, last week I thought Karen was a little bit funny. But this week I was really kind of appalled and embarrassed for, Karen. In the middle of this service, those gummies kick in. Okay, they kick in. We find out that Karen didn't have just one gummy, not two gummies. She had 3 gummies before she got there. And she started to be an extreme embarrassment. The woman starts breaking down crying. I said, oh my gosh, she's feeling the Holy Ghost. And then I said, no, she's feeling the gummies. Because she started crying at first and then she started laughing. She was absolutely acting like a child in church. She was having some sort of experience. I don't know what the hell was going on. Troy's face looked as if he was so embarrassed. He goes and sits next to her. He says, are you okay, mama? She says, I love you. I'm fine. Go sit down. I said, oh no. They were on the front row. I said, what? You can't have this behavior on the front row of the church. It might be a small church. They probably have, 14 people if you count the choir and the Love After Lockup crew. But this is still embarrassing, going from crying, laughing, bursting out in tears. Zara's little boy is absolutely adorable, but it was too much. I was so embarrassed. She said that this service was dragging on too long. She felt like they were holding her hostage. She didn't come here for all this bullshit. And then she storms out. I said, oh no, just let her sit outside. Don't go after her. Leave her there. She was a complete train wreck. But no, they went out to check on her. By they, I mean Troy and Zara's little boy. Then she says, I took those gummies. Y'all took me to church high. And nobody told you to take those gummies. Nobody did. No, ma'am. You're the one who decided that right before church you were going to take 3 gummies. I have seen people say that they took a half a gummy and, lost their damn mind. So Karen must be used to it. But 3 of them? She's twirling around the damn parking lot in her dress. And I said to myself, you already told us you don't have any underpants on. Watch how you twirl. You got your son out here and your grandson, grandson in quotes. Don't be doing that. She's talking about, I want to get home. I want to get out of these clothes. This place is making me want to drink. And I ain't supposed to drink. I think that this might be why you're acting like this. You want to drink. Troy has quite a bit of emotional intelligence, and he says that he thinks his mom has been triggered by the acts of her past, being a non-present mom and all of these things, but he also thinks it's an attack from the damn gummies, and it is, clearly. So she tells Troy to just go back into the church, get Zara, and let's go. Troy goes back in. Zara says, what's going on? And then the next thing you know, they tell Zara's son to go out and check on Karen. And I'm thinking, what? This is a grown-up who is high out of her mind on gummies and acting a fool. She wasn't a mom to Troy, but you're going to send your 10-year-old son to check on her? Absolutely not. We would have sat there and enjoyed this service, and she would have sat out there in that damn parking lot until we were ready to leave. Or we would have all excused ourselves quietly and just taken her home. You would not be sending my son out there. Absolutely not. She's out in the parking lot. She told him that she wasn't going to make it to meet his grandparents today, and go make something up. So he goes back at the church and he says, she wants to go home and she's not going to be able to meet grandma, and pawpaw today, and make something up. She's out in the parking lot talking about they held her hostage. She was expecting a 20-minute service. And I said, well, damn it, Karen, you must have never been to church, especially not an African-American church, because I've gone to churches where we've been in there for 3 or 4 hours. And I've also, my current church, we're only in there for like an hour, sometimes maybe an hour and 20 minutes, depending on if it's a special occasion. But no, ma'am, you're not getting a service less than an hour. You're not going to do it. Then she's talking about she'll talk to them later, maybe after they smoke their weed. I said, oh my God, Troy's mom is crazy as hell, and this woman does not belong at the church right at that moment. I think she belongs in a rehab. That's where I think she should be. When they all came out of the church, she tried to act like she really enjoyed the service, but it had just touched her in such a way. I thought that she was really rude to Zariah's parents. I thought that Zariah's parents really did a good job in trying to be gracious and kind to her. I think that they believe she caught the Holy Ghost, by the father's sermon, and that's what caused her to be emotional like this. But she was just being extremely rude. Zariah and Troy did announce on Instagram that they have started a new business venture, and starting in September, which it's September now actually, of this year, they will be selling gummies called Black Karen Editables. Now, I do not know why they decided to name it Black Karen. I do not know, but I'm sure that they are going to make a ton of money, as a result of the way Karen was behaving at that church. I don't know. I clearly see that she is an addict and she may be going through one of the stages of being an addict. I do not know, but I think that they should try to get Karen some help. Also, what really took me out was that, one parishioner that had that shirt on that says, "It's not a dad bod, it's a father figure." I thought that was hilarious. That cracked me up. Anyway, that was too much at that church. Anyway, get down in the comments and let me know what you thought. Kim and Joey. All right, so Joey is back from his joyride, from his ride down memory lane through the tiny town. And he comes in and acts as if everything is okay. Kim is upset. He acts as if everything's all right. I love you. I love you. A few kisses and back to regular scheduled program. Not me, girl. Because first of all, you left up out of here after you were texting. I'm still on who the hell was you texting? You know what I mean? And Kim, I'm thinking, this is just so crappy. You are in a relationship with someone you have to air tag. I just, that is not a goal for me. I do not want to be in a relationship with anyone that I have to air tag or anyone that I have to have their location. That just says it right there. You know that you're going to be cheated on and he's going to be using. No, this guy is not the guy to be a father figure. So Joey's mom and niece comes over. They're having a Christmas family get together, a little gift exchange, and his niece is not really happy with him. She said that when she was growing up, he was her favorite person. But by the time she got to the 6th grade, she found his needles. He was asking her for money. She didn't really have it, but she was figuring out a way to come up with the money to give to him that he was using for drugs. So she says that she's extremely hurt by him. She wants him to be happy. She wants him to have a family. She just wants him to do right. And he gives her the whole thing about he's going to straighten up his act. He's going to do better. I don't believe it. She tells him, don't just talk that talk. She said she needs to see him walk the walk. Good luck to them both, but I don't see it happening. Kim's dad is still stuck on that bike. He is very angry. This bike situation probably happened in the year 2000. I don't know, 2000 or 2004. I don't know, but he says Joey is a thief and he knows it. He knows Joey stole his $1,600 motorbike and he is mad as hell about it and he's not going to take it anymore. He wants to know what the hell happened to his bike. Anyway, Joey's dad gets there, and Joey is trying to make a good impression on Kim's dad. He gets down on one knee and he proposed to her with this ring. And I said, well, where the hell did he get this cubic zirconia? And he says that he paid $3,700 for it using his prison gambling money. Okay, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. So he was giving her this ring, and I kept looking at it, and I'm like, okay. Then they show a picture of her holding her ring finger up, showing her ring, and it doesn't match. I said, that ring that he proposed to you with is not this ring that you are posting as your engagement ring. Those are two separate rings, which is why I think I'm right, that was some sort of bubblegum ring, some cubic zirconia that she picked up down at Claire's. They are full of shit. Anyway, while the mom and the niece were all smiling and clapping and congratulating and so excited, and the mom was like, this is the best Christmas ever. The dad looked like somebody had took that card that she bought Joey and ran over his damn foot. He was devastated. Anyway, the daddy says, Joey, we need to go outside and have a little conversation. They get outside. The dad has watery, teary eyes, and he tells him, he said, what I need you to do is get a job. I need you to make a living and take care of these kids, and I need you to leave that life behind. And then he confronts him about the stolen bike. Joey says, well, back in my past, I did come into contact with, items like this, but I never stole anything out of anybody's house. Liar. Okay, it was all over your damn head. And the crazy thing about it is, why don't you just admit it? It's been 20 damn years probably. Just say it. Kim's daddy, I was high. You know what I mean? I was on that stuff. I was using the intravenous medication. You know what I mean? And I needed money. And I know that you had just got that real nice $1,600 motorbike. So I stole it. Just say that. Just say it. What is he going to do to you? Is he going to drag you off Kim's porch, beat the shit out you on the lawn on Christmas Day? I don't think so. Just admit that you stole a man's motorbike so he can move on with his life, because daddy is not moving on with his life until he gets a confession. Her dad gives him his blessing to marry Kim because he says that he has not seen her this happy in over 6 or 7 years. However, he says that he's keeping his eye on Joey, and he believes that within 3 months, Joey will be back on drugs. Listen, I hope that he's not. I hope he's not back on drugs, but I think that he might be. I'm wishing Kim and her family the very best, but I think that she has made huge mistakes in this relationship. She should have never brought Joey back to her house. If she really wanted to be with him, she should have insisted that he check into an inpatient rehab or live at his mom's house. Show and prove first. She should have never brought him in her home. Bianca and Daniel. All right, so Bianca is hard for me to watch. She's 23 years old and she's been through something extremely traumatic. Her accident, losing her baby. And I think that she is really young. She's immature. She's extremely delusional about this relationship. And she's looking for love in all the wrong places. She won't listen to her friends. I think what she needs the most is her family, her friends, some structure, and some therapy. This girl needs therapy so bad. She does not need a boyfriend. She needs therapy. She needs help. Using her settlement money on this man is a big mistake. She should either be saving that money, going to school, or starting a business, figuring out some way to better herself in the future. Using the money for therapy, something, not spending it on an inmate. Both of her friends have been very upfront with her, trying to talk to her about this relationship, letting her know that she is being downright gullible and delusional, and that it's not a good idea to invest so much time and money and love into a man that you don't really know and you've only met once. But she doesn't listen. She says that her friend Haley is being dramatic. She says that Haley is just mad that she's moving and that she's going to experience more than she has, and that Haley is stuck living in the same place and she's not going to be going on the journeys that she is, and she feels that her friend is just jealous of her. Girl, please. Nobody is jealous of the bullshit that you're about to go through. No one is jealous of the shit that you are going to have to suffer through, the lessons that you are going to pay dearly for. No one is jealous of that. She said that she sent him those legal forms to marry in prison, and he said that it wasn't time yet. I was glad that he was smart enough to realize that it wasn't time. However, I said what he's going to do is get out of jail, spend every dime this girl has, and then leave her. She was talking to him on the video call. She asked him, would it be okay if she has several drinks? Or what if she comes home and she drinks a whole bottle of wine? And that shows her immaturity. This man has had alcohol problems for a while now. He has spent the last 4 years in jail for DUI. You just went through hell and was almost killed by someone who was driving drunk. Why would you want to be drinking and partying around him? His mother already said, if you love him, you won't drink around him because it'll be triggering. And she doesn't care. Now, I'm not saying that this young lady should have to stop drinking, but if you're going to have a few drinks, at least do it out of his presence. Do it somewhere else. And then when you come into his presence, sober up a little. You know what I mean? She's just doing too damn much. That is why his father asked about your mental health. He knows who the hell his son is, and he knows what you're up to, that you're paying for everything, that you bought a new apartment, you're up and leaving Florida. He wants to know, how is your mental health? That is a valid question. Don't understand how somebody who has been traumatized by a DUI looks out and seeks someone in prison who is in jail for multiple DUIs. That is a valid question about her mental health. I am so sorry that she had that miscarriage by her ex, then this accident. She really does need to see somebody, not move across the country to a place that she's never been, to live with someone that she doesn't know, when she doesn't have any friends nearby, no family nearby. It's a lot. And when she sits down on that beach and she starts crying, I said, no one is forcing you to move. It's not too late. You don't have to go. This is somebody I think that really needs help. And it's just another example of someone on Love After Lockup that I think Love After Lockup should have passed on, or should have at least said after the season ended, let's get you a therapist. I don't know. I don't think this relationship is going to work. I think that it's going to be a lot of problems, and it's all going to stem from drinking and possibly drugs. Julian and Christina. Honey, now listen. They're in West Virginia and they're headed back to Maryland. Christina was all upset because she says that she's not going to get any pepperoni rolls. So I looked it up because, I live in Ohio. We've got pepperoni rolls here. But I was born and raised in West Virginia, and we've got pepperoni rolls there. So I looked it up. I'm trying to remember what it said, but I'll post it in here. But the pepperoni roll is an Italian-American roll. Coal miners used to have it for lunch. It's very popular in West Virginia. My pawpaw was a coal miner. Anyway, other Appalachian populations also adopted the pepperoni rolls. Western Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, and Ohio. You know what I mean? So the pepperoni roll is delicious if you've never had one. Anyway, she was concerned that she wasn't going to have any pepperoni rolls anymore because she was moving to Maryland. Well, honey, they have them. And not only do they have them, there's plenty of recipes online. You can make some yourself. Anyway, she decided that she wanted to take Julian by the first bank she ever robbed. I said, how romantic. Okay. Me, personally, I would have rather taken my guy by the home I grew up in or something, or maybe, the playground I used to play at. But all right, the first bank you ever robbed. Okay. Anyway, she takes him by this bank. They don't show the name of the bank, but I could tell by the door that is the bank that I work for. I've never actually worked in a branch. I've always worked in the corporate office, but that is my bank. So the very first bank that she ever robbed is the bank that I work for. Anyway, When the police shows up, she gets the heart pounding. She's scared shitless. I don't think that she should actually be allowed within 50 feet of a bank. Any bank, all banks. She shouldn't be allowed bank accounts. Anyway, remember when Julian got arrested and they were busted shoplifting at the Walmart, but it was a Walmart in West Virginia. So they must have been back there visiting family or something. They get to Julian's townhouse and she's super excited about it. She wants to open the door. She says that she's only lived in Section 8 living or trailer parks, and it was really nice to have her, own home. Then it gets really weird. We find out that Julian has kids. Now, remember the last episode they were on, Julian said that he had not told his family about her. And I said, well, I guess it would be kind of hard to tell the family that you were allegedly writing a book about prison and just so happened to get on a prison pen pal site, hooked up with this girl who has robbed 6 banks and is also hooked on meth and heroin, and she is in jail. That would be hard to tell people, But to find out that he's got children and that he shares custody with his ex and those children, I said, wait a minute. This is a woman who's not even allowed to have contact with her own children. How in Sam hell is she supposed to be around your children with your ex and you haven't told your ex about this woman? He tells her that she's not allowed to be around his children until he has a conversation with his ex and his ex meets her. I said, oh gosh, as a mom myself, I 100% stand behind that. I would absolutely want to know who this woman is that's going to be around my children, especially when you see a lot of stories. There's a story on the news right now about a child who was taken out of this world by her dad's girlfriend. No, I need to know who the hell is around my children. And a woman who is an addict, who just got out of jail, who isn't allowed any contact with her own damn kids, she's not going to have any contact with mine. Absolutely not. I would take his ass back to court. Anyway, he tells her that Mondays, Tuesdays, and every other weekend, she needs to be upstairs. As soon as he said that, I said, oh my God, like the Flowers in the Attic movie? She's not allowed to be seen or heard or anything by his children. I said, now wait a minute. Why bring her back here if she's got to hide? So she's supposed to stay upstairs in her room on Mondays and Tuesdays and every other weekend while your kids are here, out of sight and out of mind? That seemed a little weird. I don't think that's fair to her at all. I think that what he should do is he should let his kids continue to stay with their mother until he has had this conversation with the mom and then figured something out, or Julian should put her up in a hotel somewhere on Mondays, Tuesdays, and every other weekends. I don't think that she should have to, be locked upstairs in that room the whole time. And not only that, he told her the rest of the week you'll have the house to yourself. You can roam around as much as you want. I said, oh, thank you, Julian. That was a little weird. But then him asking her to get a job, she acted as if he was asking too much and that it was wrong of him to ask her to get a damn job. She tells him that getting a job is not her biggest priority. Is there a problem? Do we have money problems? I think you do. You guys were both caught stealing at the Walmart. Not only that, Julian says that she's got restitution to pay and child support. Hell yeah, we got money problems. He's already got his own damn kids. No, ma'am. These two right here, she's talking about it's too much stress thinking about getting a job. He did not ask you to become the CEO of AT&T. He said get a job. You can get a job almost anywhere except for the Walmart. You can't get a job there, but you can get a job almost anywhere, ma'am. Go down to your local Target, CVS, Best Buy, Taco Bell, Burger King, Wendy's, your local pizza restaurant. See if you can convince them to make pepperoni rolls. I mean, seriously, you better get a damn job and a rehab. That's what you need to be doing. Working meetings. That's what you should be doing. Lord have mercy. I'm sick of both of them. They are both odd as hell. Anyway, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.